Thanks for tuning into the Texas Scratch King channel. Before we begin, I like to say I hope everyone had a beautiful and safe Christmas and we wish you all a happy new year. Cheers. Let's bring 2022 in the right way. Blessings to you all. Now in this video you will hear about Coligação Black Golds and Wildman Katrina one-time game lose, where she was awarded Gamest in show. And also you will hear about Barney Fife's Vespers producer of record. Let's begin with Katrina. Katrina was born in a relatively new country to the game, Mozambique. Internationally it's known as the Pearl of the Indian Ocean. The first game dogs were imported to the country 10 years ago, with some dogs coming from South America, some from Europe and others from Africa. Katrina was a blend of Moon, Pinky to Mayday, boils at the top and Tudor on the bottom. Essentially a red boy, Jocko to Chinaman blood. Let me break it down. Her sire was a dog named Godzilla. Bred by us, he was out of Tokes, the first dog to be shown internationally in Mamba. Inbred on the Mayday blood, she was out of 2 imports from Southern Kennels. Rihanna was her dam. I imported her from a neighboring country. She was tightly bred on the Chinaman blood, different from most Frisco dogs that were available at that time. I got her as a bloodstock. She lost her canines and only started to show interest in other dogs when she was 4 years old. That's when I decided to breed her to Godzilla. Out of that breeding there were 4 females born. 2 were placed with my partner Wildman. I kept 1. Katrina, and the last one I gave to Evolution Tribo Kennels. Out of those 4, only 2 made it to adulthood and were shown Lesoya and Katrina. She was an active puppy by the time she was 6 months old. She was on. I was anxious to see what this blend would perform like. Nevertheless, I let her grow like any dog should before being schooled. I always pick the runt of the litter. Because of this she was schooled into bigger females. This wasn't a problem for her. She had tremendous ability and knew how to keep herself out of trouble. Besides that, she had a tremendous heart, always wanting more than she could chew sometimes. Unfortunately, that is what led her to her demise, but I will get into that aspect later. She was only bred once to Eli, who was a cousin of hers. Out of that breeding 5 puppies were born at XXX Kennels Yard. Since I couldn't keep her at my place with pups at that time, she got loose, ran straight to a male and broke her front leg. Took some time and therapy to get her back in shape. All of this happened while she was nursing the puppies. Finding weight for her was a big challenge due to the fact that she was very small. I finally managed to organize a 5-card show. We as a Coligação were going to show 3 dogs at the same night. It was a tremendous challenge to say the least. Katrina was an easy dog to condition. She had a lot of focus and aim to please. The only obstacle was the weight, which was dropping drastically, and this made me think of paying the forfeit. But since she was showing good results, we decided to do it. Coligação Black Golds and Wildman Katrina, CZN Kennels Pandora 13.4 kgs or 29.5 pounds. Katrina 12.5 kgs or 27.5 pounds. Set weight was 13.5 kgs or 29.7 pounds. The ref was Supremo Kennels and the time was 57 minutes. The day came where these 2 met in the box. The show started with Katrina controlling Pandora by the ear, not allowing herself to get touched. This went on for 10 minutes. I could start to hear the spectators betting. Pandora was slowing down, getting a bit frustrated of chasing after Katrina. That was dancing like Michael Jackson. At around 15 minutes, Katrina decided to change her defensive strategy and go toe-to-toe with Pandora, which was a mistake and turned the match around. Pandora grabbed the lower jaw with an impressive hold. They stayed in that hold for 10 minutes. This made Katrina slow down significantly and Pandora got in her shoulders. Showing tremendous mouth, she was leaving holes every time she had an opportunity to bite. The punishment got to a point where Katrina could not defend herself. So I decided to pick her up. She was badly injured. But I did not have doubts that she would scratch to Pandora. As I was cleaning her up, the crowd went silent. The anxiety was building up. Would she cross the line or stay at her corner? Having in mind that she could barely stand up. When the ref said release your dog, she never took her eyes off of Pandora. She fell 4 times and got herself back up until she reached the opponent and put her mouth on her. Everyone was screaming in disbelief and in awe. That was something that many did not get to witness every day. She was awarded Gamest in show. After the match I received some proposals to sell her or to breed to certain males. I kindly denied every offer as I was focused on saving her, did the aftercare and put her slipping on my lap inside of the car with the AC on. We did manage to save her, but 10 days after the show, my gardener opened the door of the warehouse she was staying and forgot to close it. And she ran straight to an Eli Bolio Crota female. The old man that works at my house managed to break them apart, but it was too late for Katrina. as she just came out of a show a few days ago. She was buried right next to Sunga, a 14-year-old dog. The first American pit bull terrier that I owned. I would like to thank FMJ, FC and YA for their support. Aluta continua. Now let's hear about Barney Fife's Vespers, producer of record. When the brother team of St. Benedict's Kennels decided to part their separate ways, Barney Fife left the partnership with only one dog. A black female out of Warts Ch Thunder and Doughty's Meanie Dylan Midnight Cowboy. According to Barney Fife, Vespers was worth every penny of the $700 he gave his brother. She became his house dog as she was the product of 20 years of his breeding. When Vespers was young, Sinner's Dam was put on her at Milk Inc. Kennels, and although Vespers was quickly picked up, she was the only dog to scratch back to whiskey. Bob the Slob. Kyle P. Pathfinder all saw Vespers go back to the whiskey dog and I was amazed. Although the time was only 10 minutes or so. But unless you know the dogs being mentioned, you could never understand what was happening in that short time frame. It was disgusting and I even looked away for a second when I saw the joint of Vespers' front leg. Vespers is a badass bulldog and I would also own her real fast. For Vespers' third, she was in full heat and ready to be bred. So Barney Fife said that he'd stop it if she would not start. He need not have worried. Because she smashed into the chest and then hit the stifle as it became available. Barney did not know it. But the opponent Stormy was a one-time straight-off-the-chain winner. County owned by Kyle and Beach Boy Billy, sired by Denny's Ch Bow out of Milk Inc.'s trick bag. Stormy got on Vespers' nose and got her out of the rear end. Vespers tried, but could not get past Stormy's face, chewing. The swelling was so bad that Vespers was double-fanged. Barney tried to unfang his dog. But there was so much blood on Vespers' face and neck that it was like handling a greased pig. Stormy did a number on Vespers' face, constantly sliding away from Vespers' charges and throwing her down while chewing on the nose. Vespers could only get a good hold when Stormy swapped out holds. At one dramatic point, Stormy came off the head and went into Vespers' rear end. Vespers got into Stormy's rear end and the exchange did not last long before Stormy was back on the nose trying to get Vespers out. At 15 minutes Vespers was winded and Stormy was not breathing hard. I was willing to pick up at this point. But Kyle wanted more time. Vespers was sucking down blood. But she never let being tired affect her fight. If anything, she became more violent, actually shaking Stormy completely through the air. She'd pant 2 or 3 times in hold and then shoot for a good hold. Stormy did a good job stretching herself back out of the way, avoiding Vespers' constant rooting into the throat. They stick broke them and scratched them 3 times each. Vespers was like a shot out of a cannon. You could not say 1000 and she was across with a thump as she pile-drived Stormy and Kyle. To her credit, Stormy made each and every scratch. At 25 minutes Vespers was finally able to land the heavy shots she tried so hard to land. She was on a down Stormy with full leverage behind her, so it was stopped before Vespers could really hurt Stormy. Barney Fife was later surprised to learn that Stormy died that night. Vespers was biting extremely hard and just those few deep holds in the throat and stifle was enough to kill her. That was the second bitch that Vespers had killed in just 3 rolls. In her second roll, Vespers got deep in the throat and chest immediately and killed the bitch in 8 minutes. This time, she killed a well-regarded bitch with a defensive style in 25 minutes in front of a lot of dog men. Barney Fife received a good offer for Vespers, but refused it. In Vespers' first and only match, she was matched into Handyman's Vice Grip at 41 pounds. Alien handles Vespers, while James handles Vice Grip. A buckskin. Both bitches underweight. 2 hard-mouthed bitches set a furious pace. Vespers is all offense, but Vice Grip is destroying her face. Vespers takes a terrible face chewing and is fanged, but comes back hard in the chest and throat. At 28 minutes James concedes the match. Vice Grip refuses her courtesy scratch. Vespers shoots across for her courtesy scratch. Vespers won the Best in Show trophy, while her son won Gamest in Show. Last I heard she was bred to a son of Banjo and was then spayed. I am not sure about the spaying, but I am pretty sure. Extreme Kennels have this blood. Close and it would go great with Panther blood, and the dogs are all what a bulldog should be. Just wanted to throw some top honest quality dogs and kennels whom to deal with. Whom I personally would or have dealt with. Thanks again for listening to the Texas Scratch King channel. Please don't forget to subscribe, like and share the video. Until the next time my friends, as we always say, never submit to life and keep scratching every time.